and welcome back to another episode of Tablemon History. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's been a while since our last episode. If you want to catch up on these, I'll leave the link to the playlist down below. You can find it on my channel as well. And last time around we talked about the first Worlds experience, that was Worlds 2004. It was a very exciting time for me. I did decently well at the tournament and I was completely hooked and completely hyped to do even better at the next World Championship. So the season began with city championships and the state championships. I continued to use my trusty Blaziken deck. Fire Red Leaf Green had come out, and Pidgeot, right? Pidgeot way above there with a quick search ability was just a humongous card. It was so good. Its ability allowing you to search for any card that you want once during your turn basically allowed you to pretty much guarantee that you got what you needed when you needed it, and that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference. At the time, the metagame was comprised of like Rock Log decks with Dark Tyranitar and Dark Ampharos. We had Monarchy decks, which were Nidoqueen and Nidoking combined. We also had Blastoise EX decks utilizing Steelix EX. And no, they were not. Blastoise EX was playing Delcatty and Magneton engines. I actually don't remember what they used to attack with. Because Lugia wasn't out yet, I don't think. Or maybe it was. I'm actually not sure. I don't remember. It's been so long since that time. I distinctly remember utilizing Blaziken pretty much throughout the whole season, leading up to the national championship. I would play other decks such as Rocklog, and what else did I play? I'm actually not remembering other than Rocklog. Like, Rocklog was a very dominant archetype at the time, but for the Mexico National Championship, this is the, I guess, similar list to what I used. I don't remember exactly my list. Back then there wasn't like a big internet archive of things. There wasn't Limitless to keep track of results, but I do remember getting second place with Blaziken, Pidgeot, and Rayquaza EX. Rayquaza EX was a big deal. It one-shot pretty much everything that was available back then, which was awesome. And I ended up losing only twice throughout the whole tournament. I lost in the last round of Swiss on day one to the Blastoise EX deck that would end up being the eventual winner. That I would face off in the final, and that would end up being the eventual winner. It was a really interesting tournament back then. Like, I was with my first team of friends, with Miguel, a friend Luis. It was like a very interesting time to be playing Pokemon. It was like, in Mexico at least, there was like this team rivalry, I guess, like two groups of different friends, my group of friends and then a different group of friends. Like, we all got along well, but there was this like healthy rivalry between everyone. And like me and my friend Miguel, who was, like I mentioned, the second place finalist last time around, he was like, he and I were the people to beat at tournaments, right, usually. And so, I don't know, it was a really interesting time, really fun times back then. And I don't know, the metagame, I guess Ludicolo was also a big part of the metagame. Just trying to think of the Worlds decks back then. Like, right before that, like Medicham EX took US Nationals by surprise. There were Mach EX decks that would stop abilities, and that was like a big deal because there weren't too many ways to stop abilities, and that allowed Pidgeot and Blaziken to reign supreme pretty much. I don't remember too much else about the era. I remember I was having one of my best seasons ever though. Like, I was at the top of my game. I was dominating tournaments, winning CT championships, winning state championships, like back-to-back wins. Just playing every weekend at the local tournaments. If there wasn't any CT championship, I would go. Just playing the league tournaments. I don't know. I was like, Pokemon was my life back then, and I was really excited to just always be playing, right? And so, preparing for this national championship, I gathered with my friends. I believe we all played the same 60 for the tournament, the same Blaziken deck, and like I said, back then there weren't any Channel Fireball resources, there weren't any Six prizes, there weren't any Facebook groups or Twitters or anything. It was just one site, Pokegym. And so the surprise factor was actually something that came into play quite a bit, right? Like secret techs, like my Omastar tech from the year before, like secret techs, secret one-offs that could mess with your opponent would actually go a very long way in a tournament, yeah. And I actually have this deck that you're seeing, and the ones that I've shown before, I don't have the Ninetales Blaziken deck build or the Feraligatr, but I do have, I've been bringing a lot of my older cards from my mom's place, which I had them stored away there. So I'm gonna work on rebuilding those decks for sure. And I actually do have this exact Blaziken deck, that you are seeing on screen. I have it right here in my hand. So I think a lot of people will appreciate collectors wise, like, I don't know, the Blaziken EX at the time, like these Blaziken EXs at one point, they became as hard to find as, why won't the camera focus? They became as hard to find as, or as, I don't know, not as hard to find, but as valuable as you could say like Tapu Lele was, or the DNA GX was, or even Shaman EX at its peak, or even Luxray SP, right? Luxray GL, sorry. They were like very, very sought after, especially the season before, not throughout the 2005 season, because Blaziken didn't do super well overall in the beginning of the season. Aside from some stubborn heads like myself who were playing Blaziken over and over. And then here's the Rayquaza EXs. The green screen makes it look shiny, but it's actually not shiny. Yeah, it's actually not a shiny Rayquaza. There you go. And then I think like the big card for this, there was like the printing error for Reverse Holo TV Reporter. These cards were like incredibly hard to find. You can't appreciate the foil too well because of the green screen, but like having one was a big deal. Having your deck fully foiled out with 4 of these was like unheard of, and the price for these is actually like still really high to date, and finding some in like good quality, because back then like PSA wasn't that big of a deal. People didn't care, like there were collectors, obviously there's always been collectors, but people weren't as aware of card value, and the market hadn't exploded as it has right now, right? So I have my deck actually like fully blinked out. Every card is either holo or reverse holo, and I even have like the Emerald energies, which are like my favorites, and the only reason I don't use these energies for real life tournaments is because most of them are stored away in my old decks collection, which I hope eventually when I have my own place, I will have a special like piece of furniture or something where I'll be able to showcase all of this like Pokemon history that I've accumulated, unless prices go up exorbitantly as they have been going. Then I might be tempted to sell a big chunk of my collection, but for now I think it's like they're really good memories. Like I started looking through my older cards, my older decks, and just looking at this brings me back to the tournament, right? I distinctly remember it was held in the World Trade Center in Mexico, so it was like a really big deal. I distinctly remember like walking in, tons of people there, playing on the floor, trading, chatting, and like I was a bit known at the time in the community as like one of the top players, the World Championship representative from last time, and in this national championship, there were 4 travel awards awarded this time, right? So the top 4 players would get a travel award. However, because of visa issues, if any of the top players didn't have a visa, a valid US visa to travel to the tournament at the time, the trips would get passed down until the next eligible player, right? So I had my visa from last year. It lasted 10 years, so it was never a problem for me. But the first place winner was not able to attend the World Championship because they didn't have a visa at the time. So the top 4 players didn't attend the World Championship. I was the highest placed player, second place in the National Championship, because first the champion couldn't make it. But yeah, we had a ton of fun at the World Championship, obviously that year, and if you've known me for a while, you know how special 2005 is, how special the World Championship is, and I'll talk more about that in the next episode, right? I think that definitely deserves a whole episode on its own. I've actually tracked down my Worlds report from that year, so I think that will be interesting to reread, right, how 17-year-old Pablo used to write, used to type, right, versus 33-year-old Pablo now. So should be an interesting episode. I look forward to it. I guess today was me just rambling on and on, but I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy sharing this little piece of history of myself from this like really long trajectory that I've had throughout the years, and hopefully you enjoy this. Yeah, so I will continue these episodes on Sundays. Chilling Rain is coming up, so when Chilling Rain comes out, I will have to pause them, unfortunately, unless I have time to make like a third video, because when Chilling Rain comes out, I'm gonna try to do double videos every day for at least like a couple of weeks to cover everything. If I have enough time, if I have enough spare time, I will try to continue the series as a bonus video on Sundays. But if not, it will be like a 2-week break, and then we'll be back, right? But next week we'll definitely have the 2005 World Championship episode, which should be one of the most special ones in the channel. If you don't know, I definitely recommend you don't Google me, you don't search for me or anything related to the 2005 World Championship, and be surprised in the next episode.